Hello, everyone. My guest today is Mark Thompson. He has 10 plus years of internet marketing and entrepreneurial experience and is currently the founder of digitalkickstart.com, a software company that helps online businesses with growth and automation. All right, Mark, are you ready to take us to the top?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right, so you've got a bunch of stuff going on. Digital Kickstart, is this kind of like the holding company? It's an agency, and then you have software stuff inside of it?
Exactly. So we have lots of different pieces of software. And so Digital Kickstart is the main brand for all of those assets.
Okay. And at the agency, is that an agency or is it just a holding company?
It's just a holding company. So yeah, we don't work with clients. I mean, we have a customer, we sell B2C. So
okay. So what's your largest SaaS, pure play SaaS company?
Easy VSL. So it helps you to create video sales letters.
Okay. Easy VSL.
That's our biggest revenue generator, but it's actually not a SaaS company. It's actually an Adobe Air app.
Okay. What's the largest, again, pure play SaaS company?
SaaS is PayKickstart.
Okay.
So that's our shopping cart and affiliate management solution.
So tell us about that. So how do people use it? Is it really affiliate management and payments?
Yeah, so it's really, we specialize in anyone that has a digital product. So maybe you're running a membership site, or you have a piece of software of your own, or you're a coach or a consultant. That's really who we target. We're not necessarily a Shopify, like a traditional e-commerce store.
Okay. And so what do people pay on average per month for PayKickstart?
The majority, about 75% of our vendors are on the $99 a month plan. So we have $29 a month, $99, and $149 a month.
Okay, so $99 is a fair average there. And what are they getting for that $99 a month?
They're getting, they can add as many products as they want into the platform. They can manage as many affiliates as they want to. We don't take any per transaction fees. So the only transaction fee that they would incur is from the payment gateway that they connect with into our shopping cart.
Okay. And put this kind of on a timeline for me. When did you launch the company?
We launched it about a little over a year and a half ago.
Okay. So call it early 2017. And how long and then the agency, the holding company, how long had that been around?
That's been about 5 years now.
Okay, great. So a lot of different ideas. 2017, this guy launched. You turned on pricing, and what have you scaled to today in terms of total customers?
So right now we're right around 50,000 a month in monthly recurring.
Okay, so how many customers is that?
Oh boy, good question. That's I don't know, like
I can quick. There, you said the average price point's about $100 a month.
Yep.
Yeah. So if we just take that 50,000 divided by 99 or 100, you got about 500 customers.
Yep. That's right around there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what's growth look like? So a year ago, what were you at in terms of monthly revenue?
I mean, we were probably around 10 or 12,000. So, you know, we kind of inched along for a little bit. So, when you're starting a shopping cart, you want to make sure that everything works, right? Especially when you're dealing with people's money. So we were very slow to growth. And then we did kind of an official launch just a few months ago. Even it was about 14 months into actually bringing in our first beta customers when we did more of a formal product launch.
Mm-hmm. What was that product launch? When you say formal, what do you mean?
Yep. So we did kind of that product launch sequence that you hear Jeff Walker always talk about, where you have 2 or 3 pre-launch videos just to kind of educate people on why they need your product and how it will benefit them. And then we opened the cart for about 7 days. And we actually did a little bit of a different pricing model. We did $1,000 and you get 12 months of PayKickstart premium for a full year.
Got it. I see. So you're basically pulling forward get the year for 2 months free.
Yep.
And they paid all that up front.
Correct.
Okay, great. So talk to me about funding. Have you raised capital or bootstrapped?
It's all been bootstrapped.
That's great. Okay, good. So obviously at that launch, if you pull a bunch of $1,000 plans forward, you have some cash in the bank to work with.
Yeah. And obviously with Digital Kickstart, our holding company, we've created so many different products and assets that we have a lot of revenue coming in from those different streams. And then we've reinvested a lot of that into the PayKickstart platform.
And what's the team size today just on PayKickstart?
On PayKickstart, it's about 15 people.
And all together across the entire agency, all your products?
Like 20.
20. Oh, okay. So this is the majority of your business then right now?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
We've really transitioned, especially in the last year and a half, we've transitioned a lot over to PayKickstart.
Okay. Talk to me about churn. It's critical in this kind of business. What's your churn?
Churn is in PayKickstart, it's about 20%. So it's a little high.
Monthly or annually?
Monthly.
Okay. Monthly. And that's 20% monthly revenue churn or logo churn?
Revenue
churn. Okay.
Yep.
So this isn't really a SaaS company. I mean, if you're churning your whole customer base in 5 months, this isn't really a SaaS company.
Well, what do you mean? So,
I mean, the reason SaaS is called SaaS is it's software as a service, is that it's it gets higher multiples because it's predictive. I mean, you can predict it, right? It's predictable revenue,
and it is. I mean,
yours is predictable that it ends in 5 months, right? So like predict in terms of stacking. So the reason churn is so critical in any SaaS company is if you have a leaky bucket, it doesn't stack, and then you lose all the economics that you get with the SaaS company. So why is churn so high? I mean, that's like really, really high. Why is it so high?
I mean, so obviously the one hurdle that we've always had to overcome is people that are using other shopping carts and then trying to get them to make that switch, right? Because sometimes they have subscriptions and they're already in other platforms, and it's not very easy just to transition that recurring revenue over into our platform. So there's certain things that we're doing to help with that. So things like we're going to have an import Stripe subscriptions into our platform. With PayPal's a little bit harder. So there's a few obstacles there.
Mm-hmm. How are you? What's interesting is, I mean, you're small enough where you can 20% is not a lot of 50,000 in terms of you can drive more growth in that to cover it up. But on 50,000 a month right now in revenue, if you're churning 20% per month, that means next month you're going to lose 10 grand, but you're going to.
Well, okay. Yeah. So maybe, so the churn rate is really just, not everyone is churning at 20%. I mean, we're still, our monthly recurring started at around 10,000 last year, and now it's at 50,000. So, I mean, we're still acquiring new customers.
Yeah, I get this. So are companies there are tons of companies that are always acquiring customers, but their churn is still through the roof. Where it catches up is when you're not acquiring fast enough to make up for the churn. But I see a little bit, I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing here. 20% monthly revenue churn would mean if you're doing 50 grand this month, you're going to lose 10 grand of that, 20% next month. But you're still growing because you're adding back more in new customer signups than the lost 10 grand. Is that what you meant to say? Is that accurate?
No, we're not losing 20% of revenue, monthly revenue.
Okay, that's what you just told me, 20% monthly revenue churn.
I'm sorry?
That's what you just told me. You said you had 20% monthly revenue churn.
Okay, I apologize. We're not losing 20% of our revenue each month.
Okay, so what is your churn?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you, like anyone listening right now is going to go, wait, how does this guy not know what churn is if he's building a SaaS company? So why do you not look at churn?
Well, we're basically looking at a lot of our trials. So I think the churn is based off of the trials that are coming in.
I don't know what that means.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I apologize.
Okay. What churn is if you have 100 paying customers today and next month you'll lose 10 of them, you have 10% monthly churn. Churn is just a measure of how the bucket, buckets are leaky. How leaky is your bucket? So if you have $50,000 today per month in revenue, how much of that will you lose? Ignore upsells or new customers you add. How much of that will you lose next month? Just natural churn.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I mean, all I really usually focus in on is our monthly recurring, and are we getting more trials and that kind of stuff. So,
okay, yeah, but so most people when they put a pro forma together for monthly recurring revenue, what you do is you take beginning monthly MRR minus lost plus what you added, and that's how you get net MRR growth. Are you're just ignoring lost MRR altogether, or you just don't know what it is, or?
Yeah, no, I unfortunately I don't have those numbers offhand.
Okay, so how are you building the business if you don't know? I mean, I'm not trying to like be rude or hit you hard here, but like churn is like a critical thing in a SaaS company. It baffles me you don't know what churn is.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been just delivering great customer service and innovating our product.
Yeah, but how do you know if you're delivering a great product if you don't know what churn is? You have no idea if people are staying or leaving.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, I don't know offhand. I apologize.
Okay, so how do you? I mean, yeah, I'm not quite sure where to go after this. Considering, I mean, usually churn in the early days on a company like this, it can be high or it can be low depending on how strong the onboarding is.
Yeah.
Usually people have some sense of what that is, but you're not tracking it.
Yeah, like I have a business partner who handles a lot of the numbers stuff. So he's more of our analytical guy. So I mean, he would be able to give you definite numbers on that.
All right, Mark. So moving past churn, it sounds like you have a business partner who focuses on some of that stuff. You still have driven great growth in a very short amount of time, getting up to 50 grand a month in revenue. So how have you driven a lot of that growth? Where are you getting new customers from?
It's been a combination of different things. So we did a formal product launch where we had affiliates come on board and promote it, and of which we gave them a certain commission percentage. So some of it's through that. Other channels we use are things like cold email outreach, and then also Facebook ads as well.
Okay. So in terms of the affiliate model, are you doing like kind of a typical 30% kickback kind of thing?
We are. So during the launch, when we had the $1,000 price point, we actually upped it to 50% just to kind of incentivize them to promote it, and then 30% recurring for life.
Okay. So of a $1,000 sale at launch, you gave them $500 immediately. So that immediately takes your margin down to 50%. And then ongoing, if they were new, you're going to pay them $300 per year every year that they were new.
Correct.
Okay. And how do you, those economics, when you look at like your team and your other expenses, do you have confidence that those will scale? Can you keep paying affiliates 50% at scale?
Well, I don't think we would do that at scale. And that's why the launch was only 1 week. So after that, it's just 30% for our normal affiliate program.
Okay. What percentage of the $50,000 you have coming in per month right now would you say is from sales affiliates have driven?
Probably around 10 or 15%. It's okay. Fairly low. Yeah.
So mostly it's from Facebook ads or cold emails.
Yes.
Okay.
And from our own internal email list, because like I was saying, so over the past 5 years, we've generated a fairly large buyer list. And so a lot of it has been just from our own internal list.
Tell me more about this buyer list. How many people are on it and how'd you build it?
So there's a little over 100,000 people. And so like I was saying with Digital Kickstart, we've created lots of different products. And so we've been launching products for 5 or 10 years now. And, each product launch that we do, affiliates promote it. And so our list is mainly generated from other people's buyers lists that end up buying our products.
And when you look at fully weighted customer acquisition cost on some of these channels, what are you spending to acquire customers on average?
On which channel?
You tell me, whichever one's the largest channel.
The largest would be probably our affiliate. Well, our internal list is, so essentially they're free from our internal list, but for the affiliates, that's probably our second biggest. And so obviously, we're paying them only when they're a customer. And
somewhere it sounds like about 50%. Is that right?
30 to 50. It depends.
Okay. So let's be conservative and say 30%. So that's basically $300, right?
Right.
And do you only have annual plans, or if someone pays $100 per month, you'll pay the affiliate $30 a month?
We have monthly and annual plans.
Okay. But did I get the economics right though? If someone does play monthly, you'll pay out the affiliate monthly?
Correct. Yeah. On the recurring chart, the $99 a month plan, it's 30%. From that initial $1,000 investment, it's 50%.
Yep, got it. Again, so if someone's paying $100 per month from an affiliate that closed them, you're paying that affiliate $30 a month for that $100 a month sale.
Correct.
30%. Okay, great. So call it a $30 customer acquisition cost there, which you get basically back immediately because it's actually tied. It's a fixed cost tied to the sale. So
right.
What about, do you have any channels where you're investing up front, hoping for a return later, Facebook ads, things like that?
We've just started to do it. So we're kind of slowly dipping into the paid side of things again, because we want to make sure that we're trying to make sure that the product is good enough where we can maximize our lifetime value of each customer and minimize churn. And so, we're dipping into it, but we've mainly built of where it's at today from either free sources of traffic or traffic that we pay after they're a buyer.
What do you assume lifetime value is right now of a customer?
That's a good question. I don't know offhand. I'm going to assume or because we've only been available to the public for about 16 months now.
Yeah. So
it's hard to say. Some people have stayed since day one, and that number keeps changing for, as we grow. So
you're back of the napkinning it, which I get, but what would you guess?
6 to 8 months. It's hard. It's really hard to say. Some people will try out the product for a month or two and they're like, this just isn't for me, or it was too hard to make the transition. Other people are absolutely thrilled with it and they love it and they never leave. So
sure, but understanding which one of those customers, someone who you close, is going to be greatly impacts your ability of what you can spend on that person for Facebook ads. You're going to spend way more for someone that stays with a $3,000 LTV than someone that churns after 2 months. So do you have any instrumentation in place to know that, or no, you're really just flying by the seat of your pants right now?
I don't right now. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. What's the test look like? So how much are you spending per month on direct paid stuff?
So my partner handles that side of things. So
what do you handle in the business?
What's that?
What do you handle in the business?
So I handle a lot of the sales and marketing side of things. So what I'm trying to do is start to build that sales team. Like I'm working on some cold outreach stuff and some social outreach stuff. I handle a lot of the like videos and webinars and that type of marketing stuff.
Okay. So how does that work? If you're handling sales and marketing, but the paid spend is in a different department, how do you guys, how does that work? Those usually aren't the same thing.
Well, we obviously collaborate and we talk about what our messaging is going to be and what our creatives are going to be. We work out we mind map what our funnels are going to be. And then, my partner will handle a lot of the analytical side of things, the conversion rates and how to, try to tweak those funnels that we do create. So I handle a lot of the upfront, like videos, voiceovers, whatever we need to do for marketing materials.
Okay. And you said 15 people. Is everybody based in Raleigh?
No, everybody is virtual. So my partner is in Indiana. We have a team in Russia. We have a team in South Africa. We have some support guys in the Philippines and India. So they're kind of spread over.
Very good. All right, Mark, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Think and Grow Rich.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Elon Musk.
Number 4, is there a favorite online tool you have for building your business?
Intercom.
And number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married, one kid, 6 years old.
Oh, nice. And how old are you?
I am 34.
34. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Knew to find a mentor as quickly as possible. I tried to do everything myself and was cocky as most entrepreneurs are. So find a mentor.
Guys, find a mentor faster. You launched an agency that had a lot of success back in, call it 2012 and 2017. They launched another product. The agency had kind of done that, spun out a lot of products, but this one was called PayKickstart, a pure play SaaS company. He has about 500 customers paying about $100 per month right now. So 50 grand per month in revenue. Launched about, 16 months ago. So healthy growth, still putting in instrumentation to look at things like churn, CAC, payback periods, things like that. But generally speaking, a good model for them has been, direct spend, their own internal buyer list from previous, customers and previous launches. And additionally, affiliates driving them traffic in their most recent launch where they paid out, minimum 30% per month and some up to 50% if they were selling $1,000 annual plans during the launch. Mark, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Thanks for having me.